게임은 재밌으면 된다니까?
불멸의 전사 2.
Faceless from taking that all kill. Let's see Zest's face. Show it to us. We all know it's him.
I'm going to lose my mind.
There
it
it
is.
is.
Okay.
All right, confirmed. There's a small cheer in the crowd as everybody knew it was going to be him. No surprises. He is 11-4 this season. That means he's been fielded 15 times.
That's right.
He's been carrying this team on his back. And they won the semis of this round. They've made it here to the finals.
But right now, SOS is carrying his team on the palm of his hand.
Look,
Figure that out.
He has a pin that says Zest in cursive on his shirt. That's like how full of himself he is. That's how he knows he's so good.
3
Where's
kills.
his name? Oh, a huge cheer goes out. The crowd is on Jinair's side right now, Tasteless.
Totally packed down here, by the way, guys, despite about, well, I think it was like a 45-minute delay.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, people stayed. They wanted to see the games. Zest just slammed Lucera, and then it felt like in a matter of minutes came in the next game and just crushed TY. This guy is a killer.
He's a killer, man. He's an all-killer. He all-killed KT before, reverse all-killed. Now we're going to see if he can do it again. Very, very intense here. 57 now for Jinair Green Wings.
Pretty
It's
sick.
changed. You know, I had a poll on my Twitter as well. I like a ton of people answered, and it was like 65 KT. Everyone's changing their minds now, Tasteless.
Right.
Oh, man.
Let's see what happens, man. What a great match we're about to have. This is SOS versus Zest. In the upper right, in the green, it's SOS. And his opponent, in the bottom left, he has to win this for his team. It's Zest.
Last man standing. Right now, SOS puts his team on match point. He's doing a very early scout because he doesn't want to get denied by the full wall, and Zest is doing the same. Very common on this map.
Mirror builds here.
Because if you wait till gateway, you will just be walled out. You will not be able to scout.
Yeah, this is, I think, probably the best way to play this map on this matchup. You
can
get in there no matter what. Okay, so you get in. Obviously, intel is key here. I mean, SOS knows if he wins this, it's just huge for his team. And he'd like to save Mario the headache. Now, Zest, interestingly enough, it looks like they're both trying to take each other's gas, but it was actually Zest that got SOS's gassed in a rare twist. If you note, he actually.
Oh, I think he's going to get it, though.
No,
there's a probe there. There's a probe there. Yep,
If
okay.
you got a probe hugging that neck, not the neck, excuse me, the gas geyser, you can't take it.
Yep.
It's one of the cool things they never change in this to make sure that you can still have a structural denies.
You know
here.
what's funny is I think it was in Wings of Liberty. There was just a patch that was added either in Wings of Liberty or Heart of Swarm that made it that was the case, because initially you could never block it ever, but now it's like this cool thing you can do as a defender.
No,
you have this
I like that. I like that.
And so, you know, what happens here as a result is SOS takes the extra money he has from not buying an assimilator and also not having 3 probes mining it, so he's got 3 extra probes mining minerals. He knows he has more money. He drops the Nexus even before his core.
I'm wondering if SOS actually played this better, because even though he didn't get the gas, he got the probe down here. He can still deny the Nexus, which SOS is taking. So I don't know if SOS mind gamed him there.
You know, I think he gets ahead though. Regardless of whether it was his plan all along, like I think he comes out ahead here for sure.
But that's why I'm wondering, because he's so good with like these like cannon rushes and proxies and pylon blocks. I wonder if that was actually intentional by him. He's really good at faking this stuff. I mean, you got to be able to juke and jive and pull some psychological tricks just with your movie units alone to slow your opponent down like this. Now, here's a question. Oh, wait, did Zest wall in? Full-on wall in?
Yeah, full-on wall in.
I wonder if you could come down here and make another pylon or anything like that to try to deny it again. Because
it's possible, but there is a pylon up there now with the mothership core, and he's got a zealot, so he decides not to. But I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, only because it's Zest.
There's the Nexus coming down, though. And SOS still hasn't cleared the gas. He's been, super econ mode. The probe of Zest leaves, though, so he can actually make this Stargate secretly. The Stargate's unscouted. Zest's going to take his own Stargate. This could end up being a Phoenix PvP, potentially.
Hey, man, I would give it to SOS in a Phoenix PvP. He's got some of the best Phoenix versus Phoenix play I've ever seen.
And he kind of is one of the players to repopularize Phoenix play in Legacy of the Void and make it like a, just like a not like the standard, but a much more standard, like one of the best ones.
Super viable.
Yeah, viability. You bumped up the viability with just people like kind of following how he was doing.
I think people wanted to dismiss Mass Phoenix for a long time in StarCraft 2. It's like, because the thing is, it's one of those things that it looks like it works, but when you look at it for a while, you think that can't be right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And certainly this can't be stable, but Zest really showing us that actually there is a way to do it and do it right.
Well, a few kills on this mothership, but he doesn't scout the Stargate, I don't believe, which is kind of interesting. And forcing a pull here for SOS, but will recall away at the last second. I don't believe he saw that Stargate. So, and yeah, because he definitely didn't, because he definitely wouldn't making an Oracle versus Phoenixes if he did. Because that Oracle might just simply be blind killed by this Phoenix. So, like, if the Phoenixes are just patrolling around like this, expecting an Oracle because SOS saw the Stargate earlier, then this could be bad.
Robo Bay coming up now for Zest here. This game, by the way, this entire series has been phenomenal. Even though we had that long delay in Game 4, that was actually pretty exciting.
It gives it a little bit of tension.
Yeah, and it shows also how badly KT really wanted to try to get an edge over SOS here.
All right, here comes the Oracle. The Phoenix is on the left side, and there's one on the right side, I believe, as well, patrolling. No, that's a Zealot, actually, so he doesn't have vision, but he will send the Phoenix over immediately. Oh, he's actually got 3 over there,
now,
so this is good for him, but...
What he's doing is he's going to hide this, because, see, the Oracle's going to go around this way.
Lights out on that Oracle. He needs to sack it.
Trap.
Doesn't even get a single kill.
Okay, see, this is... Now, guys, I want to point out, almost any other player would have just had their Phoenix there by the pylon to hit it. No! Not SOS. He knows this perfectly. He
ensures the kill.
He sets off the pylon cannon, which is an indicator that you want the Oracle to run away, and then Zest, being, of course, a great Protoss player, comes in and tries to hit the probes from the other side. SOS actually then traps that over here, and now it's his turn, and he's going to get a lot more kills, a lot quicker.
Yeah, and he scouts this third base with this as well, so he's like, okay, so that's what you're playing. You don't have any units, so I have a lot of flexibility to take my own Nexus or even tech up further. And
also note, he stops with Phoenixes.
Yep.
He instead gets an Oracle. We've seen this become more and more common. There was something like this Protoss used to do where they would end up getting a Reaver in mid-game, which was unheard of, and this is pretty late in the meta of Brood War, where they'd get a Reaver really late because people just wouldn't expect it. Oracle, same thing. Now that we're what about 5-6 years into StarCraft 2, because people stop preparing for air Oracles after they see Phoenixes, this is a great way to play. And right now, SOS is getting a lot of kills. I mean, he's already in a pretty substantial lead here.
Yeah, keep in mind also the Oracle that he makes will serve a similar role to these Phoenixes, and it will just draw Zest into 2 different bases to defend, because he's dealing with probes lifting in one base and an Oracle trying to blow them up in another. So he's got to split these Stalkers, and it gives a ton of space for SOS to work with to just be greedy back at home.
Now look, he's going to use the Phoenixes over here in the front.
Yep, and then the Oracle's going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, he wants the Stalkers to come down.
Okay, he's waiting.
He's surveying. He's seeing where he can come in and do damage. Here he does. He comes in now.
He's doing so much damage. This is an unheard of amount of damage between these units. 8 kills. Oh, doesn't get the 9th one. Nearly does. Okay, there's a 9th.
There he is.
And the Phoenixes are still out there, He's got to be careful about that as well. Forces an overcharge and gets the 8th kill on this Oracle. 10 kills in total. And he's got his third base up. And because he knows that the threat of all these air units harassing is out there, Zest can't ever move across the map to attack him right now, or he's going to pay big... he's going to get punished pretty big in his probe lines.
So Zest is going for a lot of power and a lot of muscle in the ground game here. Just getting the double four, just getting the blink. Now, we've seen already SOS is quite good at handling this. He had a great pin in that game against Stats that I thought was just handled beautifully. Right now, just trying to use these Phoenixes to get as much damage as possible. Worker count slightly in the lead here for SOS.
Now, we've seen 3 PvPs already today. This is going to be the first time we see a robotics bay built. So we are going to see some Disruptor play on the side of SOS.
He has kind of forced Zest into making Stalkers. And this is going to be pretty early Disruptors to come out here and start hitting these Stalkers as they start to move out on the map. So I think this is a setup here by SOS.
It's the funny thing too is it's somewhat greedy, but because he has these harassment units, it's hard for Zest to punish it And look at also notice all the pylons that SOS has all over the map. So you can see any sort of warp prism that's going to come into his base. He's got a full line of vision.
Now this is a good move here for Zest. Although it's not easy to defend his worker line, he's also not going to be prevented from taking an expansion, at least not yet.
Colossi, what? Didn't see that one coming, Tasis. Double Colossus production in Thermal Lance. Only SOS.
This is really interesting. Okay. Now, if anybody else was doing this, I might think it was a little bit weird, but when SOS does it, I'm like, of course. You might be like, why is he doing it, Tasis? I'm like, I don't know. It's SOS. I can't understand his play style. But this is, okay.
He's like saved this strategy for match point.
Well, he always had a ton of great builds. And he was always the guy that kind of surprised us, but he wasn't deep in the leagues this time around. Now, this should be canceled. Yeah. I don't think SOS is going to.
He sees the army moving. He has to let it go. There's the cancels on the pylon and the Nexus. Range still on the way, getting closer. He wants to hide these Colossi as long as possible, I would say. But Colossi do well against these ground-based gateway armies. They always have. That's why PvP was Colossus-based until Legacy of the Void, where they got slightly nerfed. Well, they're still going to be very strong versus this army of just Stalker Zealot, especially if he's got gateways to back this up.
Okay, this is scouted. He sees it.
All right, he's got a somewhat of a wall up here with pylons as well.
He's probably sitting there being like, well, SOS is so weird he hallucinated those.
Instantly puts Stargates down, by the way, too. He wants to get Tempest.
Okay, well, I'm assuming because this is spotted that this should trigger SOS to attack pretty soon here. SOS, by the way, a bit quicker at spending his money here. We saw the supply catch up, but it should tilt back into the lead here for SOS in a little bit here. Nice feedbacks there before warping those into Archons, getting a lot of value out of those Templars.
Very nicely done. He doesn't make a Fleet Beacon, but 2 more Stargates. I don't think he's going to be going Void Rays here. Perhaps he forgot that he had a Stargate earlier on. This does happen every now and then. Okay, there's the Fleet Beacon, so he does realize, okay, I already had that Stargate.
He might start using those, especially after the 2 armies clash here. Then again, the fact that there's Colossus out here, I mean, getting Void Rays or Tempest or anything like that can be a little bit handy.
Yeah.
Now, also note, he's got a Warp Prism. He could use this to try to draw Colossus Fire. We did see people use this from time to time. Dropping Zealots here and there to pull the rays of the Colossus in the wrong direction.
Also,
they hit from another side.
A Mothership is not bad versus either because the Colossus is a siege unit. But if you can't get vision of what you're trying to siege like this is what I'm talking about with the sieging. If you don't have vision, you can't use it. You can't kill anything. The Stalker army over here are going to try to force another cancel. It's going to force SOS to send his army over. I think he should be fine. There's cannons here. He's not targeting the Nexus. Going to have to blink away. And it is going to be Tempest.
Yep, he started Tempest. But there's a pretty sizable amount of Colossi on the map. I believe it's 6 right now. And I'm assuming he has to attack with this, right?
He has to attack before the Tempest are ready.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he waits, it's going to be an issue. But this many Colossi can do a lot of damage before the Tempest begin to really kick in.
All right, this is actually intense. All right, here we go. 6 Colossi with range. Better upgrades on the ground, I believe, for the Red Cross here. Yeah, 2/2 to just +1 attack. So
Zest in good shape.
He has armor, and he's going to go for some harass here. With those upgrades, Zealots are a lot more powerful. Here we go. Here's the attack.
He's going to go for the heart here.
And the Tempests are in good position here, actually. It's hard to punish them.
Well, he's coming in. He's doing some damage to this to these Colossi, but certainly not as quickly as the Colossi can do damage to this army. He needs to warp in some Stalkers here. Archon's now trying to target down the Tempest.
Oh, and they're all stuck on the ramp here. They can't get underneath. This Archon army is stuck. It's actually a very close fight right now. Still, the Tempests are starting to get so much value.
Yeah, I think actually Zest can take this.
I think so. Look at this. These Colossi being used to micro the Warp Prism, but it's actually the Tempest that will win in the end. There's not enough anti-air here. The Warp Prism's going to go down first. And these Colossi, I don't think did enough damage. I think Zest has actually done it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's...
Look at that. That's
the
too
reset
much.
button, and now there's a Tempest advantage in the game. And that was
GG.
Going to the final match.
We're going to Game 7. SOS tried to reinvent the wheel here of PvP.
Well, I was wondering. I mean, it seems like maybe if you did the timing attack a little bit quicker,
yeah, almost like maybe with 4 Colossi or something.
Clearly, you have to kill them at that point. You don't go to the expansion and run away or anything like that.
So Zest knew just what to do. You know, he'd seen this strategy before. He's actually, had his Tempest in perfect position so that the attack would just easily be neutralized. That was very impressive reaction time there. He didn't have a lot of time to get that set up after he saw the Colossi.
The problem is, if you go for getting, the Zealots out quickly, having some Archons with that army to Colossi, you don't have anti-air. If it was like a dozen Stalkers, you could start to shoot that down, cause a problem, start to warp in more. He didn't have enough. Zealots got completely wrecked there by the Colossi, but it just did not matter.
All right, Taze as well. Zest wins it. I have to imagine Maru will be the last player.
Zest looking SOS, looking a bit concerned here. Maybe questioning the decision for that build. I see that it was a specific timing to end the game. Didn't work out, but I'll tell you, SOS did his part.
That he did.
If this is a solid team, it's going to be up tomorrow. He's the other best player on the team. See a pat on the back there tomorrow.
Now,
younger player.
Other players, just to play devil's advocate here, even though it would be crazy we saw him. We have Creator, Cure, and Hyun. Those are the 3 other players that are eligible to play, and I don't think any of them have enough experience and are strong enough, powerful enough right now to defeat the current GSL champion, Zest, who is also on a roll in this tournament. Incredible record. Maru is 10-0, if I believe. It's either 10-0 or 11-0. He's actually just on point. So good right now. Best individual Pro League players at the top of the winners ranking.
But, regardless of how you stack the stats, Zest just won a GSL.
Versus a Terran.
Possibly the hardest GSL to date. That's tough to top.
It speaks volumes of his skill level.
TY might be currently the best Terran. Obviously Maru could be as well.
Well, yeah, it depends on which way if you value like best of 3s and groups and stuff like that, like TY played better.
This is a best of 1.
This is a best of 1.
Maru's game here.
Yeah, Maru's game for sure.
But against Zest, I don't.
This could go either way. It really, really could.
It really is like 50-50.
Yeah. Oh, I'm stressing.
What a special day it's been today. We've had such good games. It's been so back and forth. So many good players. Upsets, great builds.
Yeah, the tension with
great tension with the delays.
Replay, yeah. Tell your friends to get into this, because this is going to be the game that decides it all. So much money on the line, so many points going to grand postseason after round 3. There's just so much on the line here right now, and it all comes down to just one game. Not one best of 3, not one best of 5. There's one game. We're going back, by the way, to Dust Towers, the first map. That's always how Pro League works in the LKO format. 7 games, and you go back to the first game at the end. You loop back to where we started from. So it's a really cool thing. It's like Pro League tradition. And I think it has to be Maru. We can't really speculate otherwise.
It has to be Maru, right? I love all the players on that team, but for the amount that is on the line here, I think they just have to go with Maru. He's too good. How does Zest play? How does Maru play? I think that's all it's going to come down to.
That's all it's going to come down to. It's going to be just pure skill, one best of 1.
This is not like
PvT.
the middle part of this match where it becomes much more difficult. Do you bring out the big guns? Do you have any snipers set up? Or do you have a sniper that you save till the very end because the rest of your players did their part? It's a tough one.
Here we go. Let's see the reveal. He's there front and center in their team photo for good reason.